You are sitting in a quiet room, tapping a bright green screen. You feel a small spark of dopamine as gold coins burst across your display. Your streak counter ticks up to 365 days. You believe you are learning a language. This is where the gamification illusion begins. But deep down, you know something is broken. And then a native speaker said something to you at normal speed, and you caught maybe 3 words. Why does your brain panic when real life replaces the digital screen? That gap between how the app made you feel and what actually happened is not a coincidence. It is a predictable result of how these systems are built. Here's what's actually happening. Language learning apps are built on the same psychological mechanics as slot machines, social media feeds, and video games. Streaks, points, badges, progress bars, celebratory animations, these are not teaching tools. They are retention tools. They are designed to bring you back tomorrow, not to make you fluent. The distinction matters more than most people realize. Psychologist B.F. Skinner spent decades studying what he called operant conditioning, the way behavior is shaped by rewards and punishments. He found that the most addictive reward schedules are not the ones that reward you every time. They are the ones that reward you unpredictably. Sometimes you win, sometimes you don't, and you keep going, because the next one might be the one. Gamified apps have refined this into an art form. The streak is a punishment mechanism disguised as a reward. You don't keep the streak because you love it. You keep it because losing it feels bad. That anxiety, that small daily obligation, is what keeps you opening the app. Not progress, not fluency. The fear of breaking a number. Rewards feel like learning because your brain loves immediate feedback. Every badge releases a small sense of accomplishment. Every animation tells you that you succeeded. Over time, your motivation becomes connected to the game itself instead of the skill the game promised to build. Mobile language apps are brilliant at keeping you engaged. They celebrate consistency. They reward speed. They congratulate every completed lesson. Here is the problem with the streak specifically. In 2 weeks, my streak will reach 700 days. That sounds like a lot. But if I'm honest, most of those days it was only the fear of losing it that made me log in. Not curiosity, not progress. Just that quiet anxiety of watching a number disappear. And that is the illusion. The feeling of doing something that gives no real progress. The apps are not useless. They build a habit. They introduce vocabulary. They lower the barrier to showing up. But the streak itself is not a measure of skill. The numbers don't show your level of progress. Often they show how good you've become at not losing a number. That's by no means an indicator of fluency. Does that mean language apps are useless? Not at all. They are excellent for building exposure, vocabulary, and daily habits. They reduce the hardest barrier of all, getting started. But habits become dangerous when they disguise themselves as complete training. You confuse consistency with readiness. Your favorite app replaced the messy, unpredictable art of human communication with the predictable rhythm of a colorful video game. You thought you were building fluency. You were actually building a hyper-efficient habit of recognizing static symbols on a lit display. Think about how you learned to ride a bicycle as a child. You did not master balance by looking at flashcards of chrome handlebars. You did not gain muscular coordination by choosing correct pictures of spinning pedals. You fell over, you wobbled down the driveway, and your motor system adapted through immediate, real-time feedback loops. Imagine learning basketball only by answering multiple-choice questions about shooting technique. You might recognize perfect form instantly, then someone hands you a ball. The basket is real. The crowd is watching. Recognition disappears. Execution begins. Language is the same. It is not a collection of static facts to be memorized for a multiple-choice exam. It is a dynamic skill executed under real-time pressure. Dr. Robert Bjork, a prominent cognitive psychologist, studied this exact disconnect. He differentiated between two very different mental metrics: storage strength and retrieval strength. Storage strength measures how well a memory is ingrained in your brain after repeated exposure. Retrieval strength measures how quickly and efficiently you can pull that memory out under real-world pressure. Mobile learning apps excel at building passive storage strength. They fail at training active retrieval strength. Have you ever known exactly what to say 5 minutes after the conversation ended? Of course. The knowledge was there. Access was not. This is why you freeze. Consider how your nervous system handles stress. When you sit comfortably on your couch tapping an app, your heart rate is steady. You have unlimited time to select an answer with zero social consequences for a mistake. But when a native speaker looks you in the eye and waits for your response, your brain detects a high-stakes social situation. Your sympathetic nervous system fires up. Your working memory bandwidth shrinks dramatically. Stress narrows attention. Your brain begins protecting itself instead of exploring possibilities. The vocabulary you easily matched on your phone suddenly hides behind uncertainty. You are not forgetting the language. You are losing the race against time. Every time you complete a digital lesson, a team of behavioral psychologists wins a small victory. They carefully designed the digital pinging sounds, the animated characters, and the loss aversion streak mechanics to keep you returning every single morning. Their primary engineering metric is user retention. The app platform wants your attention tomorrow at breakfast. It does not care if you can hold a nuanced conversation in a foreign language next month. Are you collecting digital badges to satisfy an algorithm? Or are you trying to connect with real human beings? The app didn't fail you. It did exactly what it was designed to do. It kept you engaged, it made you feel progress, and it gave your brain just enough reward to come back tomorrow. But engagement is not fluency. Feeling progress is not the same as making it. The true solution feels counterintuitive, uncomfortable, and deeply demanding. To actually speak a language, you must intentionally abandon the safe comfort of glowing buttons. You must force your brain to engage in active, effortful production without any digital safety nets nearby. You need to speak aloud to yourself in empty rooms about your daily routine. You need to record your own voice, listen back to your mistakes, and struggle through the awkward silence of unassisted sentence generation. You must embrace the immediate, visceral discomfort of failing repeatedly in live conversations. Real fluency lives exclusively on the uncomfortable edge of cognitive effort. It develops only when you force your mind to bridge the gap between thought and speech without a multiple-choice menu guiding your eyes. When you eliminate the digital crutches, your brain finally builds the fast-twitch neural pathways required for real-time speech production. Remember that a long streak on a screen is not evidence of a fluent mind. The streak still matters, just for a different reason. It proves you can stay consistent. Now direct that consistency toward the skill that conversations actually demand. Before you open the app today, say something out loud, in the language you've been learning, to no one, to yourself, to the room. That 10 seconds of awkward, imperfect, real speech is worth more than any number on a screen.